Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Abracadabra, Create What You Speak, with iLan Azoulai, only on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome, ברוכים הבאים, shalom, hello, welcome to Abracadabra, Create What You Speak. I'm iLan Azoulai, your host, spiritual mentor, sound therapist, for you who are ready to reclaim your power. And reclaiming your power is your gifts, your own power, your own divine power to go out to the world and show to the world with no fear. So, welcome. Thank you for being here. This is a wonderful time. It's a wonderful, energetic time. We are on the eve of Yom Kippur, a Jewish atonement holiday, and there's a lot of energetic bottleneck ready to explode and be coming down and to be shared. So there are a lot of channels that are opening, especially during these past 10 days. And this is what I want to talk about and what I want to bring and to share with you, and to be here and to just share this. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've did this program alone with you. So it's kind of stepping out again of the comfort zone of having guests or an edited program. But first, I want to start with the prayer and the blessing and the desire, especially beginning again today, of mitzvat aseh shel ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. I hereby accept on myself the due commandment or the utterance of love your neighbor, your friend, your gardener, your partner, in the same way that you express love to yourself. And this prayer, this blessing, is really translated into so many ways, and being perceived in so many ways. And really, the focus here on that, there are like three sections to that sentence, and the focus is here first of all on ourselves. First of all, on ourselves. Can we find this way to be in love and in concert with ourselves, so we can understand the place of what it is to give and what it is to be in giving to the other person. And so when we first take care of ourselves, and taking care of ourselves is exactly these 10 days, is an example of what taking care of ourselves and our presence means. How does it translate? What is the daily practice that can happen, or that is available for us to do, that will cultivate this healthy presence, this healthy being of us? And think about in airplanes, when the time to fly again will be. Nevertheless, when we go up on the plane, we get the flight attendant to say that we should put the masks on us first before we put it on younger kids or people that need help, because if we don't help ourselves first, we can't help somebody else. So it is not coming from an egoistical standpoint. It comes from a strictly taking care of ourselves so we can take care of others. And taking care of ourselves allows us to take care of others in a way that, how are we looking at our actions? How are we looking at what we say? How our relationships are? And everything is about relationship, right? Once I asked my teacher, what's the meaning of life? And the simple answer was to make meaning. And we are here making meaning of every single moment that happens. We create memories, we create situations, we create experiences, and we immerse ourselves in these experiences. The question is, are we these experiences? And we are not these experiences. We're not these experiences. So what do? We are remembering our experiences. We are creating these moments so we can have meaning to relate to them at a later point. I want to start with a song, and I will talk about this person a little bit more later. This song is by my mentor, by the Beethoven, if you will, of Israel, the Sting of Israel, as I see that musically as a musician and also somebody who I like listening to his music. His name is Matti Caspi, and he created history in the Israeli music. A wonderful composer, producer, performer, and as he would say, there is nothing to look at when he performs. There's only to deliver the song. So, as a very talented, received prizes in Israel, had an encyclopedia. Well, he didn't commission that, but somebody took on themselves. Tzipi Fleischer, a professor, took on themselves to do a research for 20 years and took out 4-volume encyclopedia about the music and about the complexity of this wonderful composer, and it's wonderful because he's here to receive that. So this song is called "A Song in Our Memory." I had the honor to do some edits and to translate the song, and there he goes. It's called "Shir Lezichrenu." This is Matti Caspi, and there you go.
הוורדים ראיתי את שפתייך, תותי שדה צבעו חיוך מוכר, רציתי ללטף את לחייך, פתאום הבנתי שנשקתי קר, בשביל החלומות שמעתי צעדייך, עלי הסתיו נושרים משמלתך ארוכה, בבוקר סתיו שוב התעוררתי בלעדייך, לעוד יום תפל של אהבה סדוקה, לעוד יום תפל של אהבה סדוקה. בכל ענן ציירתי את פנייך ואת עינייך כחול של גחלים, אולי אותו ירח קר מביט עכשיו אליי, כוכב נופל שמיים נעולים, בשביל החלומות שמעתי צעדייך, עלי הסתיו נושרים משמלתך ארוכה, בבוקר סתיו שוב התעוררתי בלעדייך, לעוד יום תפל של אהבה סדוקה, לעוד יום תפל של אהבה סדוקה. בשיח הורדים ראיתי את שפתייך, תותי שדה צבעו חיוך מוכר, רציתי ללטף את לחייך, פתאום הבנתי שנשקתי קר, פתאום הבנתי שנשקתי קר, פתאום הבנתי שנשקתי קר.
Yes, well, uh, Shir Lezichenu is a song in our memory. And, Yom Kippur today is it's the Jewish Atonement Day. And there is a notion that when it's an Atonement Day, where there is you have to ask for forgiveness and go into diving into ourselves and to find really um, what do we need to do. There is a sense that it has to be sad, and actually it's not. Especially Yom Kippur. It is not about being sad in the sense of, oh, this is a horrible time. No, this is actually an uplifting time. And the commandment also, and the mitzvah is really to do this with happiness, to do this with joy. In Judaism, one of the biggest things, aside from the guilt that comes with it as a natural thing, it is to do this, to be in service with joy, with happiness. And it's kind of perplexing because you can ask somebody to get something, to do something, to bring this, to do this, but how can we ask someone to be in joy? How can we ask someone to take your emotional state, your spiritual, whatever state that you're in, and be happy, right? What does it take? It takes an enormous, what appears to be an enormous power to change the perception, to change the way that we look at things. And I think that is really the thought itself about doing this is more difficult than the action itself, because it is like a light switch, like flipping of a light switch, right? It's that easy. But to get to that place, to release, and to be in a place of release and of letting go of what is hanging up, like with the thoughts, or that is the more challenging and the more difficult, because it is all in here. And I said, when we challenge our perception, it's like going to a gym for our imagination. And the imagination is a key. The imagination is a key. The self-time, self-reflection. So I want to go back a little bit. I want to talk about what we had Rosh Hashanah, and now we are in Kippur, and eventually we're going to Sukkot. In English, we say tabernacles, right? But Sukkot. And so it's like, and I want to look at this, and this is what's been going on for me this last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's really a culmination of things. And it is more the understanding or the realization of what is happening. There's more the realization of what is happening. And by the way, if you're writing something, I'm not looking at that, so I will respond later. It's just then it gets me out of the whole thing of being really with you. And although we don't see one another, or at least I don't see you, if you are here, I feel you. So if you are here, there is something that is happening, whether it is live, and this is live actually today, whether it is live or whether it is later, you watch it later. But I want to talk about really this strip, I call it a strip, like a movie strip. This is what it is. Our whole experience here is like a movie. We don't see what beyond this scene. It's just, this is the life. This is here, the edge of the window. Let's take the window from this edge to this edge is the window of our lives, of our experiences. Each one has a different experiences. And within here, I want also to illustrate a Rosh Hashanah, Kippur, and then Sukkot. And it's like going up, it's like warming up. It's starting from a place, of really looking into our core, looking into our actions. Rosh Hashanah, this is what it starts. But actually, well, it's a circle. This is the thing I keep telling this myself. It's a circle, and when everything is in a circle, there is never a good or a bad point to enter a story. So just before Rosh Hashanah, we had Chodesh Elul, the last month of the year, of the Jewish calendar year, and energetically also it aligns with the star formations and with the astrology map. We have the last month of the year, and in that last month, Unlike other months where we are seeking, or we're looking up, or we're connecting, we're looking to connect to our higher self, to God, to prana, to anything that doesn't matter how you call what you're connecting. We're connecting to the infinite source, to the infinite light. We're going to that place. So there is this time of I call it in Hebrew lefashpesh, and the fashpesh comes from digging in, but it's more like, think of like a pile of clothes, and you are kind of moving the clothes to the side, moving the layers to go deep and to see what to see really our presence, how we are presenting ourselves to ourselves, yes, but to the world. How and how are we in this space with ourselves and with others? What is our reflection? And in that same sense, when we are omitting this energy, when we are in that place, we also receive that same energy. We also get that energy. And we get that energy in form of what kind of people we attract into our lives. What kind of people we attract into our lives, and what kind of experiences we summon to us. And this program is called Abracadabra, and it's not for nothing. I mean, this has been sitting with me for a long time, and a long time until I realized, until I got that. 10 years ago, I started working with a shaman. I started apprenticing with a shaman. And that's really when my journey started, my conscious journey started. Um, Without even paying attention to that. That's usually how it happens, without even paying attention to things. And it started then, and this abracadabra proved itself over and over and over. And when I say this, at first it was just a term, because abracadabra, people know it, many people know it from, oh, I pull a rabbit out of the hat, abracadabra. But it actually comes from Aramaic. Abracadabra comes from Aramaic, and it says literally, Abracadabra, I create as I speak. And what do we create as we speak? We're creating and we're manifesting energies from our thoughts. We are creating a thought, we have an intention. So we are infusing that thought with an intention. I have this thought, I want to do something. Okay, now I'm intending to do that. What does that mean? First of all, I prepare myself spiritually, I prepare myself mentally, how to deal with this, how to be with this. For example, how this program today came about. Now, I started this program 2 years ago, two and a half years ago. And I started it alone. And then eventually I brought guests, and bringing guests to show their gifts and to bring their gifts to the world, and to make it a stage, a platform for people to express themselves and to express the gifts of the world. And with them, it was like a cycle. We did this. We both did this, or depends how many guests we had, and showing the gifts to the world. So coming today alone again here was really kind of coming out of the comfort zone. And this is all part of this Rosh Hashanah, Kippur, and Sukkot is really to come out of the comfort zone. And everybody is in their own zone. We can't compare really my experiences to your experiences, because I received a box of crayons and you received a box of crayons to draw your own painting in this world. And so what painting and what story are you saying? What story are you telling? And everybody's story is based on their experiences and on their challenges to create that picture. It is not just like it's funny, like how you see these commercials for like gym commercials, right? And you always see these very fitted people are using this device, right? So the notion, the PR point of it is to have you, the viewer, believe that these people received these 12 packs or 8 packs or 4 packs or whatever that is, because they've been using these machines. And it's not the case. 99.999% is not the case, because they have a product, they created a product and they have to sell it. So do you think that within the period of creating the product and selling it, within 30, 60 days, whatever that is, or even less, they created this body? No, it's not. It's the model they come to use this product. So it is really, what are we creating? How are we coming into this place? And so this time, this coming out of the comfort zone is really the key. And it's really the key in every aspect in our life at all times, not just now. But energetically, energetically now there is a huge opening. This past Shabbat, we had this past Shabbat. Well, I'm going a little bit ahead of myself, but let's start. I want to start with Rosh Hashanah, with the looking into our actions, into our thoughts, into our um, um, how we present ourselves, going into these places. So we look first in these things, into our actions, uh, uh, looking at the relationships, looking at the kind of connections that we have on our daily basis, and we start understanding, oh, is this something that really serves me? Is this something that really can take me from here to there? Now, it may seem egoistical, but remember, in the beginning, we're talking about if we don't take care of ourselves first, we are not able to take care of others. We won't be able to take care of others if we don't take care of ourselves first. And taking care of ourselves is taking care of our nurturing ground, like a tree. If I water the tree with Coca-Cola, nothing would grow up. But if I water it with water and give it adequate sun and caring and fertilize the ground, all these kind of things will help the tree grow healthier. Okay, so this is Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the head of the year, and it's an analogy, but a Kabbalistic analogy to our body. Rosh, it's not like just the new year, happy new year. It's happy head of the year. And when we take care of our head, when we take care of our thoughts, what comes into our body, and we have I said five, 7 gates of entry points, 7 entry points. We have 2 eyes, we have 2 ears, 2 nostrils, and we have 1 mouth. And what we are bringing in is what also will go out. So we're like a TV. Think of ourselves like our TV boxes. We're a TV box, and I have 20 channels. And today I'm broadcasting the sports channel. So who's going to watch the sports channel? The people who like the sport channel, right? So this would be the. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so this would be the entry point, and looking at ourselves like a broadcasters, not just receivers, but also broadcasting. And when we broadcast that, and when we bring it in, we also broadcast. And when we broadcast, we are also inviting those people that are fitting that vibrational energy. And so pay attention when you invite people, when people come into your life, what space really you are in. And another thing is the active summoning of somebody. There is an active summoning that happens and can happen, and it is a matter of practice. And I will share this with you as a sharing, not as a anything else, just as to share, and you can try that, because you can always go back to what you're familiar and what you know, right? What you're familiar and what you know is very comfortable, so you can always go back to that. But it is, remember, starting with a thought. It starts with the thought, and then their intention. The intention is like the infusing the breath of life into that idea, into that thought. You have an idea to start a business. You have an idea, or you have an intent, or you have a thought that you want to do something, or even in a relationship. You have a decision that you are about to make, and you want to make this decision, and you say, it is very hard for me to make this decision. I don't know how to make this decision. I don't know how to go about manifesting it. Okay. If you are in a relationship, and I hope not, but God forbid, you want to leave that partner because of whatever reasons, or everything that works, and you've tried everything, whatever that is, it is very difficult because you are already in a cycle that keeps going and going and going and going. And when a train goes 100 miles to the west, you can't really stop immediately the train and go 100 miles to the east. It won't do good to your inside, right? It's impossible really to do that and to stay alive. So you have to slow down, and slowing down is slowly starting to accept that, slowly starting to recognize what needs to happen, slowly starting to recognize what needs to be done. And the most important thing, and that you will notice when you are about to make a change, it is that it's the decision, the coming to reality that this is really what is the best for you. So this is really the most difficult time to make that decision that, okay, this is what I need to do. Okay, so you started, and then you start infusing it with all the possibilities. And this is what happens when we are making a decision, when we're making a choice and a decision. Now we cleared our mind of worrying about what would happen. What would happen if I do this? Oh God, what will happen if I'm not with this person? My world will collapse. Being to that movie, the actor dies at the end. We all been to that movie in some sort, in some way or fashion or form. So it is the decision to do something, not necessarily doing it, but the decision, the understanding and the acceptance of doing something. And that releases the space to possibilities. What is available? What is possible? Because now you're not bound by that thought or that fear that is holding you back into that place. And what does fear do? Fear holds us back into this familiar place, holds us back into this place that doesn't want us to grow. Why? Because it's nice and cozy here. Let's stay here. You know it's crappy for you, but let's stay here a little bit. It's nice here more, you know. And it debilitates. It takes away the life force. It takes away the life force of the possibilities that are there. And it is just, I'm as I'm talking to you, I'm remembering, and I'm almost like reliving these moments, these moments that I've gone through, that I've been through in situations that everything was so dark. Everything was in a place of stagnation. Nothing would move. Nothing would shift. But nothing would shift because I didn't start pedaling the bike. When I grew up, there was a I don't know if maybe it's still there, but it's a mechanical. It was called dynamo, and it would be, while riding a bike. It would be a device that would sit on the front wheel. And when I click it and allow it to be on the wheel, the more when I turn the wheel, it'll create light. And so if I wouldn't turn the wheel or I wouldn't pedal, there would be no light. It's not like a battery operated. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like, it's when we pedal, when we put something into motion, there is something into motion towards the direction of where I want to be, towards the direction of how I want to see things, towards the direction of the goal. Then things starts moving. So Rosh Hashanah is really looking into our things and saying, okay, I want to change something. I want to change something. I want to go from here to here. It's the first thing is to look at where we are until this point. And so when we take care of the head of all the gates that go in, that's starting to look in and to, okay, I'm stopping. What is coming in until now? I'm stopping. I want to see what is happening. I want to evaluate. I want to evaluate my space. I want to evaluate the space I'm at. And so, technology. So I want to evaluate. So this is really the beginning of a strip of a movie. And this is exactly Rosh Hashanah, Kippur, and Sukkot is a strip of a movie, a strip of a certain experience, a strip of our presence. And so Chodesh Elul, just before that, was the end of the month of the last month of the year, of the previous year. And this is the month where the king comes down to the field. The king is in the field. The king is in the field, and it is available everywhere. And we're seeing the situation that is happening now, the Quranic times, and things that are happening. And for some people, it's a blessing. And for other people, it appears to be not a blessing, but it is all as it is ordained. All it is as it is here to reveal itself. And there is a collision of worlds. And when I say collision of worlds, think of 4 lanes of traffic, and they're all eventually coming into one lane. I mean, you can see it like when you go on a highway ramp, going onto a highway, right? They're starting with 3 lanes sometimes, and then they all become one lane to merge into the fast lane, right? But they all start with 4 lanes or 3 lanes or 2 lanes, and then eventually they merge into this one lane. That one lane leads into the superhighway or whatever. Not in LA, because in LA the highway is anything but super, because it's always congested. And so, but you get the idea. So it is all these things that are leading towards one place. And so everything here is available. Everything here is showing itself, is revealing itself. In Kabbalah, I remember the time when I heard that first in 2012. I started hearing an NPR in Boston. I was living in Boston at that time. I was starting to hear mainstream media talking about yoga, talking about sound healing, talking about, and I was flabbergasted, because the Kabbalah said that the age of Aquarius will be the age where information will start revealing itself. And that's when we started that. The third formation of the age of Aquarius, we started at that time. And the Kabbalah said that we're going to, and this is thousands of years, right? We're going to have this information. We'll be ready for this information. Now, not everybody apparently is ready, but many of us are. And so it is in our duty, if you will, to bring the light, to shed the light. And shedding the light is, and spreading the light is spreading our care, spreading our love, spreading our gifts, to encourage others, to bring them closer to the plate and not further away from the plate, like what is happening with the so-called leaders. It's not leaders. These are dealers. These are not leaders. These people are really dealing with us. It is not leading us. And so it is what happens when your leader becomes your dealer, right? It is a cacophonia, becomes a cacophony, and this is really what happened. So these days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are called Aseret Yemei Tshuva, the days of atonement, the days that we are looking and we are asking for forgiveness, and we're going to people that that maybe relationships were sour or some things were said. And here's the important things, and this is a wonderful, wonderful thing to keep us together. Is the understanding of asking for forgiveness from the other person. There are two kinds of forgiveness. There's the forgiveness that is with the place here and with God, and there is the forgiveness between the other person, between the person in front of me. So God says, if you are coming to me to ask for forgiveness, if God is recognizing you, we're going to God to ask for forgiveness, God will forgive. Why? Because there is the intention in it. There is the intention. So God will forgive. And that's why also God is here. The energy is here. And again, I say God, you say God, you say higher self, you say prana, you say everything that is working for you. And that is the light. That is the source of joy, the source of happiness, the source of clarity, the source of encouragement. Whatever space it is in you that you find that door is like one of those lanes to the highway. We all have different doors. There is no right or wrong. This is what we were brought up to believe, that there is right or wrong. By whom? By our dealers, aka supposedly leaders, right? And we were brought up not necessarily politically, but the society, how everything went, right? I want to just make a distinction on that. But we're brought up to believe things. We're brought up to believe stories. And this is happening in every generation. It's just that now we're waking up. And so this is the time to look at things and to say, okay, I'm ready to make a change. I'm ready to make a change. And the difference between the forgiveness between me and God, us and God, and us and ourselves is what is holding, is the crucial. Because when we're asking for forgiveness from another person, we are engaging a flow. We are engaging unity. Because our power, our livelihood, our life is about together, is about the togetherness, is about this is our power. This is and a power, again, it is a power of creation, not a power to defeat or to, of course, that will happen automatically, that the light will defeat darkness. But it is really about coming together. And when we are in a space of giving, we are also receiving, just like the dynamo with the bicycle that I was talking earlier, where the more I put in, the more I receive. It is not keep you apart and that's it. Think about, like, if you and I, you are watching this, you and I, we're the only two people in the world. We're the only two people in the world. But we have all the riches of the world. You take America, I take Europe, whatever, or I take, and everybody takes a continent. All right, everybody takes something. After a while, with all the riches in the world, where are we going to find ourselves? Lonely. Look at this Quranic time. At this Quranic time, everybody is not everybody's following that, but we are pretty much isolated because of a lot of things, because of this virus, but mostly because of a political game that is happening to instill control and to keep that fear factor going, you know. And so where we're going to find ourselves lonely, and it is our togetherness that is going to bring us stronger. And we will see that once we are in that space, we'll say, oh, it wasn't that hard. It was just to be in that space of accepting and caring for the other person. And this is going back to the first sentence I started the program with, "Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha." How can we love somebody like ourselves? I mean, we don't even know many times who us are. And to put ourselves in a place of, oh, I want to love that person like myself, and I don't know even what love is. How is that possible? And this is the practical way. It is to wish the best wishes and the best good things and the best energy for the other person in the same way that I wish them for myself. So if you think of yourself and you want the best things for yourself, wish them for your person, wish them for your neighbor, wish them for your friend. Be genuinely happy for them. Genuinely happy. Be genuinely happy for what they're achieving, for what they're having, for what they're going through, instead of, oh, they have that. Why do they have that and I don't have that? So that is creating a lot of things. It's creating an energetic block. That's creating negativity. That's creating evil inclination, lashon hara, that is causing this energetic block. And this is what I was talking about, coming to ask for forgiveness from another person. Coming to ask for forgiveness from another person is releasing an energetic block, like a traffic jam that is somewhere. You know, maybe you're not paying attention to it throughout the year, but every so often you think about it and you say, you know, I wish this would be okay. And then you move on. There is an energetic block there that is affecting your life. You may not be conscious of it, but it is affecting your life. If it has to do with friendship, with trust, with money, with all these kind of things that are all energy relationships. Relationships is about our energetic relationship. Our energetic relationship to anything that happens around us, between us, and within us. This is what a relationship is. It's not that person. It is my relation to that person. It is my relation to money. It is my relation to success. It is, and then again we can say, well, what's a success and stuff like that. But what is success defined? How is success defined? But it is my relationship. It is our relationship to the outside. Whatever you see through your eyes happens only in your head, not anywhere else. The way you see red is different than the way I see red. Believe it or not, it is different. There is no comparison. It is different. There are different shades. There are different ways that we look at things. There are different. So it is the relationship that I have to the person, the relationship that I have to this issue. So when we ask for forgiveness, first of all, we have our thought, we have our intention, we are fueling it. Imagine how it would be to feel after asking for forgiveness if you said something. And when I say forgiveness, is asking forgiveness for things that you've said that may have come off or may did not work right. That is the request of forgiveness. So when we're doing that, there is an energetic release of that traffic jam. And when there is an energetic release of that traffic jam, I promise you, you will feel wonderfully great and gratefully wonderful. And try to be in gratitude. You never can be angry in that. So So Rosh Hashanah and then Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the purification. Yom Kippur, this is where the atonement is. This is where we are looking to ask for the forgiveness and to the purification process. And today there is a fast, and when there is a fast, it's natural that when there is a fast, it's easier to connect to a higher spiritual realms. So it is really to focus, to take the attention of the body and really to focus spiritually. So it is really a time of purification, aside from the fact that fasting every so often will just help our bodies. So it is really asking for this forgiveness, for looking into our place and asking, what kind of a year do I wish for myself? Do I wish for my family? Do I wish for the friend, for my neighbor, for every person? And here is one thing. If you're watching this, I would ask you, what are your moments of joy, right? And how to be in that place of joy is the first thing of the gratitude. The gratitude is that place that you can't be angry when you're in gratitude. You can't be angry. So it's to start just looking at what we have. Yes, some of us are experiencing different situations. Everybody has a different situation in their life. But to see what do we have now? Because there's always worse. And to be grateful for that. That, I promise you, will start peeling off those layers of negativity, and we'll start cultivating these layers of joy. And we didn't really get to talk about the sound. But all that we did here was sound. All these are vibrations. All these are manifestations through words, abracadabra. All the words are a divine channel of energy that are coming down. So I'm going to play this as we are. This is our throat chakra. And this is a frequency that is targeting really all the area of the throat. And if you are coughing a lot, if you are not coronic related, but you're just like clearing your voice, there is a lot of issues that are hidden. If you have problem with your mouth, with your teeth, there are issues in here that are probably reflecting things that you said or you didn't say, or you are holding off on your truth of being to be a truthful person. And so this is something that I do online, and now I'm starting to do in a very small quantity also seeing people. So you'll have the contact down here. And I want to finish this program with a new song of Matti Caspi, and it's called New Space, Merchav Chadash. How fitting, right? It's a brand new song. It's premiering. It actually premiered on Friday in my program in Hebrew, but this is premiering today for the first time. And really, you English speakers, people talking only English, they don't understand the language. Soon there will be also a video, but I want you to just embrace the music, embrace this new space, because it is truly indeed a new space. With that, I want to wish you a wonderful year, a year filled with joy and abundance and development, self-development. Thank you for being here, for joining, for listening. It doesn't matter where you are, how you are. All the love to you. This is Merchav Chadash, and I'll come back to say goodbye. Merchav Chadash.
את רואה כל החדר שקוף, אין אוויר כבדה הנשימה, התנועה היא התדר בגוף שמביא את הנחמה, העיניים נפגשות, נשמות מתלחשות והדרך בעירה. מתחת לשמיכה נדבר עד הזריחה, שמש מאירה. את רואה, כבר אמרתי הכל, את חושפת את סודותיי. את טועה, לא העזתי לשאול, את אמרת זה יותר מדי. העיניים נפגשות, נשמות מתרחשות, והכל כואב פחות. השמיים רחוקים והמים עמוקים, ולומדים לשחות. את רואה, עוד מעט ונגמר, בוקר בא ואת לצידי. את טועה, לא נשארת אמר במרחב אושר מיידי. העיניים נפגשות, נשמות מתלחשות, והדרך בעירה. כאן מתחת לשמיכה ובחוץ כבר הזריחה, שמש מאירה. את רואה, כל החדר שקוף והצליל נחלש, כשאני נרגש. עוד פציעה אל התדר שבגוף, מרחב חדש.
New space. Wow. Well, the lyrics are by Dani Robas, and the wonderful singing that you heard in the background was of Bongi Duma, and he sings in Zulu, and he was actually the singer in the Broadway show of Lion King. Lion King, we are, there are lions, and so let's be a lion, let's be a head, let's take care of our heads, let's take care of our presence in the world, how we are presenting ourselves in the world, what kind of relationships we are cultivating, and if we have good things that are good for us, and many times good for us is not what's comfortable. Let's preserve that, because that may be an option, an opening for us to be in a new space. Shana Tova. Have a wonderful year. I'll see you again next Sunday with Abracadabra. Create what you speak. I'm iLan Azoulai. Thank you very much. And now we see the window. Thank you very much for being here. Let's create a new space. See you later. Thank you.
You're listening to Abracadabra. Create what you speak with iLan Azoulai. Only